It's exactly 9 p.m. East African time. A very good evening to you wherever you're watching us from, and welcome to tonight's edition of Hope TV Newswatch on this 26th day of May 2026. My good name is Kennedy Kimani, and Boniface Morethi is our sign language interpreter. Tonight, the government has reaffirmed its commitment to establishing a fair, transparent, and sustainable tax system that fosters economic growth, digital innovation, and social equity. Contrary to rumors surrounding the Finance Bill 2026, the government emphasizes that there is no motor vehicle circulation tax, no tax on mitumba goods, no increase in capital gains tax on rental incomes, and no taxes on mobile phones. To avert the misinformation, Kenyans have also been urged to engage with the bill constructively and share their views through appropriate channels instead of spreading unfounded rumors that only create confusion.
Concerning digital payment and card transactions, the bill does not create new taxes, but clarifies how existing tax laws apply to evolving digital payment ecosystems. Many modern digital payment services involve technology, infrastructure, and processing beyond traditional financial intermediation, and the amendments ensure fair taxation based on true economic function. This removes ambiguity caused by differing legal interpretations and court rulings, enhancing predictability and compliance for business. Importantly, the Finance Bill 2026 does not introduce a 5% withholding tax on digital content monetization, demonstrating a measured approach that supports the growth of content creators and digital platforms.
A Civil Matters Finance Bill and two groups of women representatives have differed over the 2026-2027 Finance Bill, with one faction led by Ruth Odinga and Esther Passaris opposing some proposals, saying the bill unfairly increases the tax burden on ordinary Kenyans. Another faction led by Fatuma Mohammed has defended the bill, urging Kenyans to read and understand it before criticizing it, especially on claims related to mobile money taxes.
I'm requesting all Kenyans to read the finance bill. Please don't judge. Yesterday is not the same as today. I have seen many of our Kenyan citizens saying reject, but do you know what you want us to reject? It's important that you quote the item that you want us to reject so that we can listen to you. But when you just come out in totality and say reject, what are we rejecting? We must be honest as Kenyans, and we must separate politics from the business of the day. Paying tax and passing the finance bill is our constitutional right. And you should not force me not to vote yes or not to vote no. I have a right as a Kenyan, and I represent the people of Migori County. I represent the people of Kenya. It's good you listen to us as we listen to you. So I'm only requesting, as your leader that you elected, that kindly read the finance bill item by item and tell us which of the items Kenyans are uncomfortable with.
That they even tax the travelers, they should not be exempt. They should be able to pay the taxes, and those taxes that they pay should then be able to give us the chance to support Wanjiku with reducing their taxes. One of the other issues I was also talking about, and I was very keen on, is why we have the business atmosphere in Kenya is not conducive, where we find most of the businessmen are now leaving to do businesses in the neighboring countries.
Away from that, and the Salaries and Remuneration Commission now wants reforms in the public sector's pay system, saying that Kenya can no longer sustain the rising cost of salaries and remunerations without a corresponding improvement in performance. The Commission has also expressed concern that the salary increases are putting pressure on resources intended for development and essential public services. Our reporter Vincent Kerosi has more on this story.
The Salaries and Remuneration Commission (SRC) says the country must now move away from recurring salary talks and instead focus on performance and output in the public service, warning that the current situation is financially unsustainable. According to the latest SRC data, the public wage bill increased to 1.25 trillion shillings by December 2025 from 1.17 trillion shillings recorded in 2024.
And anyway, you cannot stop the country from growing. And how does it grow? You hire more teachers, because we are building more schools, we are sending more children to school. As the population increases, we also need to make sure we are providing effective health care. So you have to continue hiring nurses, doctors, because the people of Kenya need to be taken care of.
Because we cannot be spending all our resources just to finance the wage bill. There is a reason why each and every employee is hired. They are hired to perform some or to offer some service.
According to the Public Finance Management Act, the proportion of money spent on salaries and allowances for public servants should not exceed 35% of the national income. Currently, the SRC Commission acknowledges that this level is still too high, with 41% of the national income being used to pay salaries.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a country, we must now shift from measuring effort to measuring results, from managing processes to managing outcomes, and from rewarding tenure to rewarding productivity and performance.
We have also developed the integrated performance management guidelines to assist the county governments get it right in their performance management. And we are also in the process of finalizing an integrated performance management framework.
The Commission has also urged counties to strive to meet the law requiring that under 35% of their revenue be allocated to salaries. In the first 9 months of 2025, only 6 counties, Nyandarua, Nakuru, Migori, Kilifi, Siaya and Tana River, managed to keep their salaries to revenue ratio below 35% cap. On average, most counties continue to exceed the legally required threshold.
They are impacting on that number of 41. If all of them, all the 43 drop to below 35, I think we would be somewhere in terms of compliance. But it's work in progress. There are some historical issues where the current governments, I think, Wakili, you can confirm, inherited some circumstances, and they are dealing with them. But
the Commission, together with domestic and international partners, is preparing to host a national productivity and performance conference to be held in June. The high-level meeting will be led by President William Ruto and will take place under the theme Productivity for Fiscal Sustainability and Efficient Service Delivery.
Various state departments.
Vincent Kerosi, Hope TV, Nairobi.
Thank you so much, Vincent, for that report. Moving on swiftly, Bungoma County Government is investigating claims of about 1,000 ghost workers, leading to the suspension of some supervisory officers in the affected departments. Governor Kenneth Lusaka says strict legal action will be taken against those involved. County Secretary William Nasongo confirms the probe has started and says a full report will be released soon as affected workers await decisions on reinstatement and salaries.
I have taken action against some officers for abuse of office. I have directed the Public Service Board because I'm told we have over 1,000 ghost workers in the county government of Bungoma. We are going to carry out a forensic audit, and all those involved, action will be taken against you. Mimi sio rahisi kuchukua hatua, lakini ukiona nimechukua mbechanga na avona, because our wage bill is very high and we cannot afford to be paying people who are not working, who are not doing anything. Ghost
ni mambo ambayo iko na tumeanza kuchunguza kwa undani haya mambo vile inasemekana iko na chanzo ama hakuna chanzo. Kwa hivyo wakati huu kuna maafisa ambao tumewaambia wa step aside. Kwa ofisi yangu kuna director wa human resource, mwambie aende kando ili tuangalie ukweli uko wa.
Now, Machakos County has strengthened its healthcare system after commissioning new medical equipment to improve emergency response and save lives. Governor Wavinya Ndeti says the equipment, including oxygen cylinders, patient monitors, and emergency crash carts, will be distributed to several hospitals across the county. She added that the county is also improving ambulance services and setting up a dispatch center to enhance emergency care.
This equipment will go a long way in assisting patients, especially in areas prone to accidents, enhancing emergency response service and saving lives. This initiative is in partnership between the county government of Machakos and the Malteser International. We have worked with them since I became the governor of Machakos. Ambulances zetu zote tunatengeneza, tunazifanya sasa zikuwe kama small ICU. Mtu akiwa na accident ama akiwa mgonjwa mahali anaweza we can take care of that patient until the patient gets to the hospital.
Well, it's exactly 11 minutes past the top of the hour. Time now for a short break, but immediately after, I'll be back with the business and the sports news. Stick around.
Hi, my name is Sharon Aitore Wangenye. Thank you so much for being one of our viewers. We truly honor you and appreciate you. We'd love to know how you're receiving us, how your reception is in terms of the quality of the video and the audio as well. So please scan this QR code and give us your feedback. Thank you and God bless you.
Get ready for an unforgettable worship experience. Every Sunday on Ultimate Worship. Where we bring you live music, powerful praise, and anointed gospel ministers and bands. Join us every Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. with a repeat at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Everywhere I go, I see you right there. It's not just music, it's worship unleashed. It's ultimate worship.
You're too faithful to fail me.
Only on Hope TV, where you look and live.
What if your pain had a purpose? What if your past was just a beginning of a greater story?
Gotten to another level because now I could not do anything without it, and now it became like a poison. I take it today, it grounds me for 3 more days.
If I had not read the Bible, when I read the Bible, it just confirmed all the more that I had an encounter with the Lord, because I told him, Lord, why have you come to me?
From the streets to the sanctuary, from the prison yard to the pulpit, real people are sharing the power of God's transforming love. No matter where you've been, God can rewrite your story.
So I got him, I just called, and by luck, he picked up the phone. I explained everything and what I was feeling.
Wow.
He started praying in tongues immediately over the phone, and that thing, whatever it was, it stopped.
Join me, Sharon Aitore Wangenye, for Testify every Thursday at 8 p.m. as we listen through the journey of hope, healing, and redemption through the voices of people just like you.
And when you're running away from God, there's only the fire you can run.
Yeah.
I stand here as a witness that God catches up.
These aren't just stories, they are testimonies. Don't just watch, testify.
Welcome back. You're watching Hope TV Newswatch. Now let's get down to business. Kenya Power is set to become the first state corporation to adopt electric mobility on a large scale, with plans to acquire electric trucks, pickups, saloon cars, tuk-tuks, and motorcycles. The move follows the government's decision to exempt the first 100,000 imported electric vehicles from taxation, a policy aimed at lowering costs and promoting cleaner and cheaper transport solutions amid rising fuel prices, as our very own Theo Masharia now reports.
Days after President William Ruto announced tax exemptions for imported electric vehicles, government institutions and county authorities have begun implementing measures aimed at accelerating Kenya's transition to cleaner and more affordable transport. Leading from the front is Kenya Power and Lighting Company, which has described the policy as a turning point, saying government leadership will be key in driving public confidence and uptake.
We got traction about 4 years ago. That's when we started getting traction on the roads. In 2023, the government, through the regulator, energy regulator, introduced the e-mobility tariff, which spurred adoption. Then, of course, taxes the following year in 2024. And we have seen the numbers grow in a very exponentially. I would not say it's a normal curve, but the displacement of ICE is here. And we feel very proud that, first of all, and the privilege that any vehicle which comes into the country, irrespective through which, is going to get power from KPLC.
Kenya has already recorded significant growth in electric vehicles registrations, rising from about 2,000 units 3 years ago to nearly 5,000 currently operating on local roads.
Every urban center in Kenya has access to electricity, 100%. Therefore, everywhere these vehicles are sent, they will find Kenya Power there and will be able to power them. This one, with the current fuel prices, this is going to be a large saving. 3,000 vehicles in the population of the current Kenyan population is a good point to start.
One question surrounding the adoption of electric vehicles is their practicality for daily use, but industry experts say advances in battery technology is a game changer. They say vehicles fitted with 65 kilowatt batteries can travel up to 300 kilometers on a single charge, while larger battery systems can achieve ranges of up to 500 kilometers before requiring recharging.
I think that is going to pass too.
This, they say, could lower transport costs by up to 70%, offering motorists protection against rising global fuel prices.
The logistics industry is likely to take up electric vehicles, but still processing industry will still need hydrocarbon energy. And I think with these regards, we expect these countries to continue to produce, but also you know that oil needs, hydrocarbon energy is non-renewable. So as it continues to get depleted and the population is growing globally, we expect this to be a gesture for the future. And so for them, they should be able to join on the ride and also make it efficient for them to shift to where the world is heading.
To support the transition, Kenya Power has introduced a dedicated e-mobility tariff that allows charging at approximately 16 shillings per unit during daytime hours and 8 shillings at night, excluding taxes. Theo Masharia for Hope TV Newswatch.
Thank you so much, Theo, for that report. Now, Kenya is now looking at ethanol production from sugarcane as a new way to revive the sugar industry, lower fuel costs, and create jobs. Speaking during the International Sugar Organization seminar in Diani, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki and Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe said the government plans to reform the sugar sector by promoting ethanol and other sugarcane products following Brazil's successful fuel blending model.
We want to relook at the entire legislative framework on sugar
and also develop certain regulations that can help us operationalize that law. The whole idea is first to go beyond promoting sugar production and processing of sugar so that we diversify into the future along two areas. One is in promoting the use of getting other products out of the sugarcane farming, namely ethanol, but also other products, other byproducts from that sector. So we need to look at the Sugar Act and also the sugar regulations to see how that is able to be anchored under legislation. Secondly, is to, as you're aware, we are working with industry through EPRA to be able to develop regulations on blending between the fossil fuels and ethanol to make sure that we minimize carbon emissions. And so that is one maybe low-hanging fruit where we need to complete that process as soon as possible. So we are looking at sugarcane production beyond just the table sugar and going into other industrial outputs, but also trying to minimize over-reliance on fossil fuels. And sugarcane farming is going to offer us the solution that we require.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and to some sporting action now. World Football Governing Body FIFA has warned Football Kenya Federation officials to strictly follow the FKF Constitution in handling leadership disputes within the federation. In a letter to the National Executive Committee, FIFA rejected recent attempts by some officials to force colleagues to step aside, saying the process did not follow proper procedure. FKF acknowledged FIFA's communication and pledged to uphold the constitution, transparency and institutional stability. The federation also says it will continue working closely with FIFA and CAF to ensure smooth running of football activities in the country.
We welcome the communication from FIFA. It has mentioned quite a number of things, and from the questions I know you have picked on maybe one or two things that are in there. There are processes that must be followed. There are issues now that we must deal with in terms of disciplinary processes that are mentioned therein. But for me, it is important that we adhere to the rule of law. We cannot operate as if we're in a jungle. We cannot tolerate impunity. We cannot live our lives smearing others or believing that you can run a smear campaign on other people without consequences. And I think today's letter is an affirmation of what I have been saying all along, that due process is very important, but most critical to this particular situation is that football is in safe hands now.
Now, Lindsay Stars face a must-win clash against Tusker FC on Wednesday afternoon as they continue their fight to avoid relegation from the Football Kenya Federation Premier League. The Soldiers moved out of the drop zone after beating Mathare United over the weekend and now sit on 35 points. Tusker, chasing a top 5 finish, will also be looking to bounce back after their defeat to Bandari.
We have been good in a lot of aspects, defensively, offensively, more than the opponent team, but the opponent team has been better in one specific and very important aspect, which was play directed and play to win. So in terms of, how could I say, display, we've been better. In terms of technical, we've been better, but at the end of the day, it's a defeat, and that's specific to football. So that's why we don't have to go too much into drama or to be too pessimistic because of the result. If we look at the result, okay, but sometimes we have won For example, against Sharks in Cup, we have won and we have been really bad in terms of display and quality. So that's football. We have to accept that. Sometimes it's cruel, and we have faced opponent team who thought they deserve to win against us, and they don't. That's football. But now we are facing the game of tomorrow, which will prepare us for the final. And these two last games in the league are important. We have to finish well the league at the best ranking possible, so we cannot give up.
Only that we come to the end of our news tonight. Many thanks to you for making time to watch Hope TV Newswatch on this day. Have yourselves a blessed night and a very peaceful holiday tomorrow. See you tomorrow at the same time, same place. Good night.